What it do, Jab Turkeys? Alright, we're late to this party, but hey, better late than never. This is one of the best shows I've seen in the last 10 years. Undone on Amazon Prime, starring
Rosa Salazar as the main character, Alma.
the chick from Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah. Bob Odenkirk, who
he's
plays
fun.
her father.
Yes. So this was a trippy suggestion. I was looking at a list of trippy shows, movies, and television, and this one came on the list.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really feeling like the shots of it, because it looked weird. It was weird animation, but it was also like live action animation. It's hard to understand. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know the exact name of what they call that.
I don't either, but it basically looked like like you said, like they just filmed.
They filmed and animated
a
right
shot,
over.
and yeah, literally like when you take like an app and then they do like they redo the picture for you.
It's a weird filter. Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
So yeah, when they showed clips of it, I was like, I don't understand. I don't know if I like this. But then I started hearing the premise. You know, everyone that knows me knows I'm a huge time travel guy. So as soon as they talked about time travel, I was in there. Mm-hmm. They talked about mental health in this preview. They talked about say what?
I said majorly.
Majorly, mental health's a major thing in this show, and they were just talking about traveling through time and grieving and talking to people that are deceased, loved ones that are deceased, and family issues and stuff like that, all packed into one. This show has so many genres in it. It's sci-fi.
And it's funny.
It's very funny.
Main character is very funny.
It's sci-fi. It's comedy. It's drama. It's thriller at sometimes.
Yeah.
It's all that in one. Quick synopsis of this. This girl loses her father at a young age. It's mysterious of why she lost him. Was he murdered, or was he, did he die mysteriously? We just know he's not there. Later on in life, she's going through some mental health issues, and she's just trying to find out her place in the world and just not understanding things. In the midst of all that, she gets in a terrible car accident and hurts her head, and this is when she's starting to see her dead father come in her life, and he needs help trying to solve his murder, and this is the time he comes in this life. Everybody around her has some suspicion that she might just have a head trauma, and she's just seeing stuff. Yeah. But it makes a very compelling case that no, this is actually going on. Mm-hmm. There's some things that she says and does that affects the story that you're like, oh, wait a minute, maybe she is seeing it. But then there's other things you're just like, well, maybe that was kind of a coincidence.
Yeah, it really makes you think about it and kind of second guess everything that's happening.
And that's why it's good writing.
Yeah.
Picture Inception, or like even Shutter Island. Both of those movies, they end in a cliffhanger where you're just like, hold on, was he crazy? Or hold on, is he dreaming? And stuff like that. I put this you label this in that category of Inception and Shutter Island. It's one of those that's just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't need an answer, but I'm going to speculate for the next 10 years of what this meant.
But it's also not one of those movies where, like, the whole time you're just like, what the heck am I watching? Like, we've all watched those movies where it's kind of like, I'm not following, like, what the heck is going on. But this was not like that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that makes it, like, an easier watch and something more people are willing to sit down and watch and enjoy it.
With 8 episodes and 20-minute episodes, you damn well better get to the point.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on episode 8 and kind of like WandaVision and just... then everything's kind of making sense. You gotta break it down. You gotta get to the point.
Yeah.
At least in the first 2 episodes, in my opinion. And this is what I like, a show with a bunch of layers.
Oh yeah, and this one definitely had it. And for me, this show, like, it just blew my mind. Not just as the show, but especially with it being, it was 8 episodes, right?
It was only 8 episodes.
8 episodes,
about
and each
20
one was
something minutes long.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, we literally sat through and got through it in a night.
Oh yeah,
like it took a couple of hours for us to get through it.
For sure.
But it was so complex. Mm-hmm. The characters were so well crafted and built up. Like you genuinely cared what was going on, and not just the main character either. Like they did a good job with all of the characters, I feel like.
Oh, for sure.
And just to be able to pull off something as trippy or as weird as this show. Mm-hmm.
But still make it grounded for some weird reason.
Yeah, and still make it feel like, okay, like, even though this is weird...
It's very relatable.
It feels relatable, yeah. It feels like this is a real person going through these real issues.
Yeah.
And for them to be able to do that in such a short amount of time and to do it so well is just mind-blowing to me. Like, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, you said it well, too. I feel like this was a very, like, we were talking about sci-fi, but just this is a fictional story, but it still felt so weird and real. It felt like they were picture your day-to-day life, but your imagination is running wild. Like, literally, your imagination is doing what the hell it wants to do instead of being stuck in your head. That's the relatable sci-fi element I can give to you when it comes to how it's related. Rosa Salazar reminds me of, like, one of my homegirls from high school that I just loved hanging out with. Just no attraction, nothing, just like hanging out with. She seems like one of the bros. Her personality is great. But there's some depth to her character of why she feels certain ways and things that are in her past life that she's still going through. Her mother seems like one of those people that is just, she has high expectations for her children, and if they let her down, she will be very vocal about that. We've all seen grown-ups like that. You want to talk about the dad real quick, though? He had a pretty good performance.
I think he's like one of those people, you know, when you run into people that are like so intelligent that it's just like, it makes you feel weird, and it makes you feel like
intimidating.
I don't know how to like connect with that because like he's just like so up here and everybody else is kind of more down here, and he's just kind of like exceeding everybody in the way that he thinks and the way that he talks and imagines things. Like he's just kind of on next level. That's kind of what I got out of his character and like his personality, because he's a scientist and like he's like, you know, trying to figure out like some next level stuff. He's just very chill and very like, okay, like, we gotta get stuff done. Like, let's go. Yeah.
Exactly.
You just don't play, really.
And with him, though, you even question at times, is he crazy? Is he a good guy? Is he even here? You know, there's so many, like, different layers to these questions. And not every show or movie that has so many questions that are unanswered makes it bad. This is in a good way.
This is a great way.
This is a great way, and it kind of makes you think your reality sometimes. Not saying that this will drive people crazy, but it does kind of think like you look at some people, the way they react and how they handle things, and you're just like, it might bring you back to the show like, oh, they might be going through something.
Yeah.
You know.
And I like that. Like, I really, really am a fan of like more of like shows and movies like really taking on mental health.
Yes.
And the stigma of it, and just trying to like lessen that and be like, you know, like, not everyone is where you are. You're not where everyone else is, and like that's okay. Just like be willing to accept it and be more understanding of the fact that not everyone is, you know, everyone's going through their own thing, and everyone deals with their own stuff differently, and people have mental health issues and illnesses that they have to deal with that other people don't have to deal with, and that's going to be hard for people to understand. But the more that people are more willing to understand and learn about it, like the better off everyone else is going to be.
Yes.
You know, so I like that part about this show a lot.
Oh yeah. And I'm going to say something bold, man. You know, I don't know if you could prove me wrong in the comments, please let me know. I'm willing to change my mind. But right now, this might be the best television show to address mental health. As in, not be preachy about it, but just to show you a point of view of what somebody's going through. Now, again, I'm willing to be proven wrong. More stuff for me to watch. But right now, in my opinion,
it's definitely up there if it's not. It's for sure up there, like on the top list.
For me, it's number one until I see something different. Like, you know, there might be some movies that might be better addressing mental health. I have to think about them. But like television show-wise, I think this one nailed it. I'm going to give this a perfect score. Yes. I can't think of anything. You ever watch something that was so good and you just can't stop thinking about it? You know, those are symptoms of a masterpiece. Now, in a positive way. If you didn't like a movie like Wonder Woman, you keep Wonder Woman 84 and you keep dwelling on it, it's a bad thing. But this is a good thing that I've kept speculating of theories. I kept speculating of questioning how they did these scenes and praising the lines and praising just the way they did this show. I have to give this a perfect score. This might be, not saying it's my favorite show of all time, but like when it comes to perfect television shows, which I do have a list, I'll get to that one day. This probably made my list. I loved it, and this was a treasure that was hidden on Amazon Prime. I don't know anyone that's seen this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. it's just so good, and it's definitely rewatchable too. Like that adds so much value to a show or to a movie to be able to sit down and be like, I would watch this again. I would willingly, happily sit through this whole thing again and go through this experience and try to nitpick and find the other things that make this show so good.
Yeah, this show definitely has layers, and it seems like with a rewatch you'll find things you didn't see the first time. Before we end, I want to ask you, this leaves in kind of a cliffhanger, like we were talking about with Inception, where it could go either way. But Inception didn't need a sequel to me. I felt like that was the perfect ending. Now this has that type of ending, but would you want a second season?
This is a show where I could go either way. I would be okay. I don't know if I'd be happy about it. I do want a second season because the first one was just so good. Yeah. I do want more.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd be happy if they said, okay, we're not doing a second season. But I wouldn't be mad at them not doing it either because I feel like it was just so good. Like, I wouldn't want them to, like, mess it up. And ending on a cliffhanger is not a bad thing.
It's not.
And allowing you to just explore the possibilities is fun.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly okay, especially for a show like this.
Absolutely.
So it's either way for me.
I'm 60-40, but I'm 60 on the side of probably not doing it again. I think it left such a great impact for interpretation.
Yeah.
I think that's what it needs. I think shows like that is what it needs. Like you make your head canon of what happened. And I think, whatever you want to do with your mind, it's okay to explore those creative juices. But if you don't have an imagination, if you're not creative, the 40%, I can agree, like, it does leave it at a spot where you have potential to make another season.
Yeah.
And with the writing and the direction and the actors, I would be all there for it.
Oh, for sure.
I would be
and
there
some of the theories that, like, we've watched from other people about how they would do a second season is very intriguing to me, too. Like, just the options that they have to explore depending on which way they go, whether it was real, whether it wasn't real, whether it was all a figment of our imagination, whatever it was that was happening.
Right.
Whatever route they decide to take, either way, the second season would be very, very interesting to watch and see how they, like, just play through that.
Yeah.
So...
And I would have faith in them.
I would be happy with it too.
No, me saying that, I think that they could pull it off if they wanted to do it. So.
I do too. I mean, if they could do a first season that good, as long as they keep the same people, I think it would be great.
I praise it so much. I'll just say one negative thing. If I'm going to be critical. Sometimes that animation does throw you off when you're watching it. Sometimes, like, this is a show that probably could have filmed perfectly in an animation or an anime. This show could have been perfectly live action. The style choice that they made with the filter was just probably a personal thing. It doesn't take away or add to the story. I will say it does make it unique. Different. It does make it unique, but I will say sometimes it is distracting. Sometimes I remember there was a dialogue between her and her father, and I was just looking at the detail of, like, the face and the body motions, and I was just, it kind of took me out of the conversation a little bit. So that's my reach of a critique, because nothing's perfect.
Right.
But I would say this is one of the perfect shows I've seen evolving mental health.
If I were to critique something, it would be the sister's fiance.
Oh. Well, I think he's meant to not like, but...
It's not even that, I didn't like him. He just felt very, I feel like they did a really good job with all the rest of the characters, making them feel real, making them feel legit, making them feel like someone you would run into out on the street.
You could run into that guy, trust me.
He felt more stereotypical to me than all of the other ones. That's sense. What I didn't like.
He had the least
lot.
Real moments. I'll give
yes,
you that.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, okay, like, not that someone wouldn't say some of the stuff that he said, but it's like much less likely.
Yeah.
And it just didn't feel as realistic to me. So that would be my critique, I guess, is just him. But he's not a big part of the show.
He's not. Yeah, I think
really not important.
He's not meant.
That's my reach.
Yeah, I think he's not meant for a lot of interpretation. But
that's my reach.
I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. If you're looking for, like, a character to relate to or interested in their story, he's not going to be that one. He's just a guy. Well, listen, have you seen Undone? Let me know in the comments. I would love to have this conversation. And if you've not seen Undone, we tried our best to leave this very non-spoiler. I think we did a great job.
I don't think we spoiled like a single thing, honestly.
Yes, please, and I'm proud of us, by the way. Usually I don't care, but I really want everybody to see this like blind if they've not seen it. So like this is one that I definitely recommend. Hits every genre, checks every box, so it's for everybody.
Seriously. It really is. Yeah. And I think there's like a lot to take from it. So I would definitely encourage everyone to go watch it because I think everyone can find something in it that they like.
Absolutely. Let us know in the comments if you have seen it, and let me know what you thought of it. Did you agree with us? Did you disagree? Did you think this movie or this show was stupid, and do you think we're idiots? Wouldn't be the first time. And if you've not seen it, please watch it and come back. Let's have this discussion. What you thought? I want to hear some theories, baby. Much love, peace, and chicken grease.
Help keep your brother out the streets. Subscribe to my dad's YouTube channel. Love, peace, and chicken grease.